Out of Business is a short story by Narayan included in Malgudi Days. The story centers on Ramarao, an ordinary middle-class man whose comfortable life suddenly collapses when the business on which he depends disappears. Through Ramarao's experiences, Narayan presents the uncertainty of financial security, the pressures of unemployment, the importance of family support, and the unexpected ways in which hope can return. Ramarao had been the Malgudi agent of a gramophone company. He had invested the small amount of money he had inherited in this business. For about 5 years, the business provided him with enough income to maintain his wife and children comfortably. He had even built a small bungalow in the extension and was considering buying a car. His life therefore appeared stable and secure. However, this prosperity depended heavily on circumstances beyond his control. Suddenly, the gramophone company collapsed because of a chain of financial events involving a bank failure and the death of a financier. Ramarao was left without his livelihood almost overnight. The loss of his business completely changes the family's lifestyle. Ramarao begins looking for employment, but finding a suitable job proves extremely difficult. He applies for numerous positions and goes from place to place in search of work, but his efforts are unsuccessful. His age and previous experience as a businessman do not help him much. The situation becomes increasingly frustrating because he has a family to support and very little money left. The story shows how quickly a person who was once financially comfortable can become helpless when his source of income disappears. Ramarao's wife tries to deal with the crisis practically. The family reduces its expenses and makes several sacrifices. They give up their servants, move away from their comfortable bungalow, and make other adjustments to survive. Their former house is rented out so that the rent can provide some income. Even though these changes are painful, the family attempts to maintain its dignity and manage with whatever resources remain. This part of the story highlights the quiet strength and adaptability of Ramarao's wife and family. As Ramarao continues to remain unemployed, his confidence gradually disappears. He becomes increasingly worried about the future and feels that he has failed his family. His financial difficulties affect him not only materially but also emotionally. He desperately wants to find some way of earning money, but ordinary employment seems impossible. His desperation leads him to look for an easier and more immediate solution. At this point, Ramarao learns about a crossword competition in a magazine called The Captain. The competition offers a large prize of 4,000 rupees to people who successfully solve the crossword. Ramarao becomes hopeful that he might win the prize and solve all his financial problems at once. He spends considerable time trying to complete the crossword and sends in his answers with the hope that luck will finally favor him. However, his hope is soon destroyed when he discovers that his answers are nowhere near correct. The crossword had been his last major source of hope, and its failure makes his situation seem completely hopeless to him. Instead of continuing to struggle, Ramarao reaches a very dark emotional point. The story describes this moment as a consequence of his overwhelming despair rather than presenting it as a solution to his problems. His experience demonstrates how unemployment and financial pressure can seriously affect a person's confidence and sense of purpose. The turning point comes unexpectedly. Ramarao goes to the railway line, but the expected train does not arrive. After waiting for a long time, he learns that there has been a train derailment, causing a major delay. This unexpected delay gives him time to reconsider his situation. He realizes that he has been given another chance and returns home. The incident becomes a powerful example of Narayan's characteristic irony. Something that initially appears to be an ordinary inconvenience turns out to change Ramarao's entire outlook. When Ramarao reaches home, another piece of good news is waiting for him. His wife tells him that the people renting their former house are interested in buying it. They are willing to pay 4,500 rupees. This news gives Ramarao fresh hope. Instead of seeing himself as completely defeated, he begins thinking about the future again. He plans to use the money from the sale to go to Madras, where he hopes to find employment and start his life afresh. Thus, the story ends on a note of renewed hope. Ramarao's circumstances have not magically become perfect, but his attitude towards life changes. The story demonstrates that human life can change unexpectedly and that a seemingly hopeless situation may contain possibilities that a person cannot immediately see.